Well, everyone at West Ham Network, we have officially signed Aaron Wan-Bissaka out of nowhere. An RKO, if you're a wrestling fan, you'll understand. Out of nowhere, signing a contract for 7 years at West Ham. 7 years, and his salary will be spread over those 7 years, valid until 2031. What an unbelievable signing. Genuinely, sincerely, I think this is a fantastic, shrewd piece of business by the club. The right back has joined us on a 7-year contract, an undisclosed fee, suspected to be around about 15 million quid. He is a Londoner, of course, and he made over 190 appearances for Manchester United across 5 seasons. And what have we gained? What have we gained? Please don't underestimate this signing whatsoever. And I'm not getting carried away with it, but I think we have I think we should have an element of excitement around this, because we're probably getting, head to head, face to face, probably if not one of the best, if not the best right back, defensive right back that you can get in the league. And I'm not exaggerating that by a million miles. I genuinely think we have pulled in could be one of the best signings again this summer for a position in particularly that West Ham really need. We can't underestimate him. We cannot underestimate him because, like I said, defensively, he goes head to head with many players in the UK, even in European football. Defensively, he is one of the best out there. He really is. And it didn't really necessarily work at Manchester United because, with all due respect to Manchester United, not a lot of things have been working at Manchester United. So that was always going to be a extremely hard one and situation to follow. But bringing in someone of Wan-Bissaka ability and skill set is huge for West Ham, because one of our biggest issues, as we know, you don't need me to tell you that, but last year in particular, we conceded a lot of goals, and we've been doing that for many a season, to be honest with you. So we're aware that we're having to shore up our defense. We've got Todibo, we've got him in, we've brought in. Oh, he's in the house. Yay! He's out and about.
I'm in Lakeside again.
You're buzzing.
I just saw it and I was like, why is Anton come online? Brilliant. Great news.
It's huge news, mate. And I'm just saying there, I'm not saying to any fan, I don't think any fan will underestimate it, but please don't. I mean, see if you do a little bit of research online on Wan-Bissaka and you listen to very many pundits out there, they all claim that he is probably the best defensive fullback in the country.
I think it's important to not underestimate this as a signing. As I said, we've only if we conceded 10 less goals last season, we'd have been in Europe. And so getting us a guy in who's an out and out, best one-on-one defender, apparently right back in the Premier League, is brilliant. And it allows Jarrod Bowen not having to run back so much and track back, so we can see more from Bowen and attacking.
Well, that's the thing, though. I think what Manchester United expected from Wan-Bissaka is different from what West Ham will have to expect from Wan-Bissaka, because they really wanted this kind of modern day fullback that pushes forward. I don't think for a second that West Ham won't expect that from Wan-Bissaka. I think there'll be a lesser of an expectation to do it. Reason why, look at our stats last year. We dramatically did well going forward. We dramatically did well scoring goals. And what we've done is we've taken our offensive team and pushed them even further up with the attributes that we've brought in and the players we brought in. But the issue we had was defensively, and we were here and we were conceding the goals, and we've brought strength, not just strength to the first team, hi Phil, and strength, not just strength to the first team, but also strength and depth now, because it gives us real opportunity. I mean, Russ, at the start of this window, mate, right, we're now looking at having Emerson Palmieri on the left, we're looking at having Kilman and Todibo, and we're looking at having Wan-Bissaka on the right.
Mental, isn't it? I mean, if we're led to be believed in terms of who we're looking to ship out, in theory, we could have none of the centre halves that started last season. If we're led to be believed that obviously the Zuma deal Again, they're looking at shipping out. He's not a fan of Mavropanos. We've let Tilo Kira go. We've let Obona go. So it really is a complete reset from the defence, which I think is something that's been needed for at least the last season. So, look, it's exciting. It's exciting. That on top of all the attacking prowess we've got, it's going to be an interesting season how it all works and how it all fits in. But as you know, it doesn't look like we're finished.
No, it
It
doesn't look
doesn't
like
look
we're
like we're finished at all.
And do you know what, Russ? I remember going back to the Ben Johnson conversation, and parts of me are like, I wish West Ham would look after a player like of Ben Johnson's caliber or commitment to the club. Being a West Ham boy, going through the ranks, Premier League experience, and if there's method in the madness, then so be it. He's gone, but this makes that situation a lot better because we're getting in. With all due respect again to Ben Johnson, on paper we're getting in the best defender we possibly can in that position, and possibly one of the best defenders in that position in the country, who also has a shed load of Premier League experience, over 172 Premier League appearances throughout all of his clubs. And on top of that, though, he's got Champions League experience, Europa League experience, and played in cup competitions. The player's only 26, Russ. He's at the height of his career. And do you know what? When you've got a team like West Ham who could put their arm around you and realise, and the thing is, people have to get this right. Wan-Bissaka hasn't been awful at Manchester United. That's the other interesting factor. He's not been awful. It's just not worked out to the level that Manchester United, I think, had hoped as a whole package. And they have to change or change their whole dynamics. But what a piece of business for a player of this caliber that's expected to be around about £15 million, Russ, is a really, really good deal in today's market for a and let's not underestimate the following comment I'm about to say. A player that could be, if plays well, on the cusp of an England call-up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he got called up before. It's a long deal as well. Up to 7-year deal for him as well, which is, which basically means the rest of his career is pretty much guaranteed to stay at West Ham, which is fantastic. But also, yeah, I mean, he was. I think his family are Congolese, so there was opportunity of him maybe going and appearing for Congo in the future international. So, but yeah, I mean, you're getting into a side now which is going to hopefully do things. Got to imagine he should be back in the conversation for an England call-up. If he's playing regular football, we're playing well. Hopefully, the top third in the Premier League as well. So, it's great news for him. I think he's clearly he's been at Man United for a while, longer than people think. I think, to be honest.
5 years,
And
yeah, 5 years.
yeah, exciting times.
Yeah, it really is. And like I said, I don't think we're going to be finished there. This is what he said about signing for West Ham. He said it was a no-brainer for me to join West Ham. I'm excited and happy to be here. And I think you can really tell that because his time probably wasn't as happy as what he had hoped. And he is a London boy as well. But, coming back to London, it's got everything that people want. Especially if you have a bit of money. London's got everything you want, especially if you've got a bit of money, He says, and the next statement he makes is, backing that up, he said, it's an amazing feeling to be back in London and I'm excited for what's coming. I was born here, so I know the ins and outs of London, which plays a big part in my life. So to be back playing in this city means a lot to me. So there you go. I didn't even read that. That was just purely coincidental that I mentioned that comment. He said, I'm happy to be here and grateful for the warm welcome and excited to be playing for the club and will give it my all. I can't wait to get on the pitch, get to know the players and push on from here. I see a team that is in it together. And I think that is something that I find really interesting because from all the videos, from all the pictures that we've seen through all the camps that West Ham have had, even when you think about players that have been linked to heading out of the club, there does seem to be again another strong togetherness in there. When you think about the links of a Gerd heading out the club, and then suddenly you see him smiling a lot and being around. And even with Zuma, even the Zuma situation, which we'll talk about later on in the Hammers headlines, is an interesting one because there seems to be a togetherness at the club. And I hope that is. I hope that is.
I hope it is. I think, as you said, it does seem that, the club have been putting a lot of these sort of training videos out pre-seasons. And it does seem, I mean, even if you watched the Todibo one, there was a little bit, I think it was caught on his own personal one rather than the club one, where he sort of creeps up behind Lopetegui and sort of jumps on him. And he's like, it does really seem that there's a nice feeling now within the club. And now it's about replicating out on the pitch now, isn't it? It's about
Yeah.
getting. You know, you can. Brian Clough always said famously, you don't win football on paper, and you know, you win it on the pitch. So it's now. Let's see what happens. You
And
know, on Saturday.
And I think that's the really key part here again for us all to understand. It's great for us to have that excitement. But what this means for me is, you know, I'm committed to the cause. I'm committed to West Ham as anyway, but I'm committed to the journey that we're about to embark on. You know, therefore I'm willing to give it time to gel. It needs time to gel. Fingers crossed. The best case scenario is we gel instantly and we push up the league as quickly as we can, and the world is rosy, all that sort of stuff. But Rome wasn't built in a day. However, we can be fucking glad that what we've done in the transfer market. Wan-Bissaka went on and said, you know, I can't wait to get on the pitch, get to know the players and push on from here. I see a team that is in it together, that will push each other to win, and a group that has got each other's backs through thick and thin. So being part of that and having that insurance helps a lot when you're surrounded by a good squad. Tim Steiden's been a busy man, of course, this window, and he said about the deal, I am delighted we've been able to get the deal for Aaron over the line. He's exactly the type of player we're looking to attract to this club in the prime years of his career. He's an incredibly talented defender who we rate very highly, superb in one-on-one situations. He's versatile too, which clearly is another positive. He's played over 170 Premier League games during his career. He knows the division inside out. This is the part I'd like to personally thank the board for their continued backing to bring players of such quality to West Ham. I'm really excited for us to be prepared for the start of the new season this weekend. So yeah, Wan-Bissaka is in. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a West Ham player. Earlier on in the West Ham Network chat, people were messing about. I sent a message saying Fabrizio Romano had deleted his post stating that the deal was signed, sealed, and delivered. But it looked like the deal probably was signed, sealed, and delivered. I think Fabrizio Romano's inside knowledge was actually factual, but I think he had to doubt himself. Therefore, he deleted his little post because he has been making a mistake. But it's done because the images are all in. And yeah, it's all good. Are you ready for the 7 things you need to know about Wan-Bissaka, Russ, and everyone in the chat?
Of course.
Right, number 1, he started out at a renowned junior club. He was born in Croydon and grew up a few miles away from New Addington, where he attended the Good Shepherd Catholic Primary School. Started his football career in the famous Junior Elite FC in Beckenham, which he was also given a grounding to Emile Smith-Rowe, Jed Spence, among dozens who have gone on to join the professional academies. He wore the number 14 shirt as a youngster, and his hero at Arsenal was Arsenal and France forward Thierry Henry. Number 2, he joined Crystal Palace aged 11. He was invited for a 6-week trial for Crystal Palace. How did you do that? There's balloons going up. Number 2, sorry. And he signed 2 weeks. Hold on. It just took 2 weeks for the schoolboy to sign for Crystal Palace. So in his 6-week trial. So impressed they were by him. He started out as a winger and sometimes as a number 10, but eventually moved to fullback during Roy Hodgson's time as Crystal Palace manager. After being asked to mark Wilfred Zaha and impressed during a training game. Number 3, he won lots of awards at Crystal Palace. He broke into the first team in 2018 when he debuted in his Premier League against Spurs. He would start 7 Premier League matches. At the end of the 17-18 season, was named Crystal Palace's Young Player of the Year. Following season 18-19, he kicked off by winning the club's August, September, and October Player of the Month awards. He then started 39 matches in all competitions and was voted Crystal Palace's Player of the Year that year. He has international experience. Number 4, international experience. His parents were born in Congo, lived in Holland and Germany before settling in South London. He has a proud Congolese heritage and played as a forward for Congo's under-20s in a friendly defeat by England at St. George's Park in 2015, age 17. England's team featured Trent Alexander-Arnold, and then Wan-Bissaka switched his international allegiance and was called up by England under-20s for the first time in March of 2018 and debuted in a 1-0 friendly win over Poland. He has since earned 3 under-21 caps. Number 5. He moved north at the age of 21. Manchester United signed Aaron Wan-Bissaka from Crystal Palace for a reported £45 million at the end of June 2019, becoming the most expensive uncapped English player of all time. Then just 21, the right back played 46 times in all competitions, made his European debut and his first senior England call-up, and led to the Premier League in tackles made in the first season of 2019-20. The following season, October 20, Wan-Bissaka scored his first goal for Manchester United Premier League win over Newcastle United. Number 6, Russie B. He is a trophy winner. He reached 4 major finals during his 5 seasons at Man United, winning 2 of them, the League Cup in 23 and the FA Cup in 24. The right back started for Manchester United 2021 Europa League final defeat, but was substituted just before the penalty shootout, which they lost 11-10. He won the 23 League Cup as a halftime substitute in a 2-0 final victory over Newcastle, then started Manchester United game, which they lost 2-1 in the FA Cup final 2 months later. However, they bounced back and beat their local rivals in the same competition last season. Number 7 and final one for you on Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He was recognised, he's a community champion. He was recognised for his community work during his time at Crystal Palace and remains committed to the area of South London where he grew up. He was named Crystal Palace's PFA Community Champion in 2019, having given his time to the Palace for Life Foundation by supporting the Gloves Not Guns community boxing group and visiting his old primary school to give an assembly. That brings an end to the 7 things you need to know about West Ham's number 8 signing of the summer, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Anything you want to add to that, Russ?
No, I'm excited now for Saturday now. Even more excited than I was an hour ago.
Jan Phillips says team is really taking shape and all great additions. Martin says get in there, what a signing. Usual Suspect says just waiting for Lingard to make it all complete. Steve, come on you irons, what a signing. Gary says need to get rid of Deadwood now. Listen, players will go. I don't have any doubts about that, but also be entrusted with the fact that more players will come in. That is exactly what will happen at West Ham. In Tim we trust. Very good for Mohamed Kudus on the right-hand side. Bissaka will provide more room for Mo to cook on other teams. Freshfielder says this is getting really silly now. Get Sammy back and it'll be perfect. Thank you very much. Come on, you irons, from Toby. When I saw Aaron Wan-Bissaka's stats against Sufals, everything is more positive with the exception of going forward, but overall it's a great signing. In actual fact, if you weigh up West Ham's fullback options, you've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Vladimir Sufal, who is a seasoned pro at Premier League, and if you've got him as backup, what a great challenge. What a great challenge. And do you know what? Sometimes when over the years, Russ, when we've doubted Sufal, I'll never forget it. Me and you spoke about it. It was the game against Everton, not last season, but the season before. And Jared Bowen had to track back. We looked at his heat map, and it was an awful game at Vladimir Sufal's performance. He then got dropped from the team, and when he came back into the team, he then started to produce the goods again. So this is not a bad thing. This is what you need for a squad at the Premier League.
Exactly. And I think it's going to be fascinating to see what happens now with Vladimir. Obviously, Vladimir is on a 1 year. He's got 1 year left his contract. Obviously, we instigated the additional 1 year add-on. That pissed him off a little bit because he saw Tommy Soucek get a longer deal. He saw, the likes of, Bowen get a 7-year deal. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little cheeky bid from a Turkish club for him. But we'll wait and see.
Yeah. Russie B is out hiding the metal shirts. Guys, remember the shopping centre. So if you don't know, Alloy Collectors, a good channel support sponsor for us. So we are, thankfully to them, giving away lots of their amazing, cool prizes. I don't have them with me because they're now set up in Freddie's room. Fantastic, fantastic prizes. So we'll be doing some more scavenger hunts as well. But check out in the description. You'll get a chance to go and see and get a discount as well. Oh, Russie B, it's there. I didn't realise you had it. Oh, there you go. And that is, of course, the Europa League, the Cup Winners' Cup winning team one as well. So make sure you get it exclusive. I don't think it's been released out to the public yet, has it?
Not yet. I think it's out this week, I believe. I think it's out this week.
Yep. So there you go. Bill says, I believe a complete reset of our defence was needed. 74 goals conceded was terrible from a defensive-minded manager. It was, but we also have to be careful of the mindset, thinking that these 4 defensive players will gel instantly. We have to give them a little bit of time to settle. That's just normal, especially when you've got new players playing together. So if they do gel instantly, that's a very unique situation to be in. But let's hope that we have managed that situation really well and we can deal with that situation really well. Don's in the house. Good to see you, my friend. 10 out of 10 window from me. I think we have another striker. We have 2 impact strikers at the moment. Hopefully I'm wrong. I genuinely don't think Füllkrug's an impact striker. I think Füllkrug's got the ability to be. The thing is, right, if you've got Füllkrug and Antonio as our strikers as things currently stand, that's 2 very good options. for a full 90-minute game of football, because Antonio still does a job for West Ham. I think Phil Krug will do a job for West Ham, and I think they obviously want to reinvest in that area for the long term moving forward. I think you might see something come close to the end of the window in that one. The two covering defensive midfielders are so important. Unfortunately, Souček isn't mobile enough for that. Never mind, has ball control. That West Ham shirt is fire. AWP comes from Croydon. Wonder what kind of reception we'll get from the Palace fans being an ex-player for them. To be honest with you, what can they do? You know, if they wanted him, they would have gone back in for him, but it doesn't look like they would, you know, and especially the deal, the offer that West Ham got him for as well. I'm intrigued to see I'll be intrigued to see what his salary will be, his weekly wages will be. I don't know what rounded that off at.
No idea. I think he was on 90 Man United, wasn't he? I think.
Yeah. Just tuned in. Why is Russ streaming from the lingerie section? Well, I have no idea either, but he obviously fancies a
it's
bit of
the biggest lingerie section in Ireland. So
Russ doing a thong for Europe. Did you realise you were in the lingerie section, Russ?
I'm with Flo, so I'm just walking where she's going. Where she's going. So she's I don't know.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 window from you, Martin. I do believe Russ is in Ireland's largest. There you go. Russ hanging out in the shopping centre to keep cool, mate. We get the Palace, AWB, no one will pass him. To be honest with you, if we get the Man United, AWB, no one will pass him, because they won't pass him. His stats at Manchester United, in terms of his defensive duties, are still up there, dramatically up there. It was just only really when you look at his all-round game and you look at his forward stats, because he wasn't supported when he was at Manchester United. That was a big difference here as well. Any chance of rumour that Russie is looking for a Claret and Blue Mankini? Absolutely. He's definitely knicker sniffing as well. Fantastic signing him. Emerson Keelman to Debo, a sound defence backed up with Sufal, Gerd, Mavropanos, Creswell is ideally for me. A Chalobah situation. Absolutely. Let me just jump through these comments if I can. Irons Matty, Iron Wan-Bissaka. That's a good one. I like that one. That's good. Russell, love that one. Iron Wan-Bissaka. We are a big club. That's why players sign for us. We are massive. Afternoon all. Not long to the season. On the way about time. Cannot wait. For Man United, what a great signing by West Ham. He's a solid right back. I'm just jumping through here. This move can be great if our fans realise he's defensively strong and attack and support play is not his strengths. Let me see. Russ is gone. Where are we? Yes, I believe we are. Seen something come out yesterday. I think we're well within our remits here, especially knowing that players are heading out the door as well. Good question, but we'll talk about that. But I think there's still minutes in him. They're still very, 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 very capable. Let me see here. Okay, I'm glad you see there's potential lineups. None of them included Rodri. I'm pretty sure he'll start almost every game, even when Alvarez is back. Rodriguez, sorry. Strength and depth. It's all looking peachy. It is. Competition is good for squad players to bounce off of each other to give them the very best. Absolutely. The signal went. It did. It certainly did. Welcome, Obi-Wan. Absolutely. I'm just trying to see if I can get the picture that we all want, that we all... Hold on a minute here. Let me see. Let me see if I can get the picture. No, can't get it. I can't seem to see the one with him and Tim. Let's make sure you're hitting the thumbs up. Please do. Thank you very much. Hi, gents. Fantastic news to up till down. Thank you very much. Yeah, I seen that. I'm going to address that in a separate video. But I seen his tweet and I agree with his tweet. So it's most of his time chasing. I'm backing Antonio to be our top scorer this season. Can't wait to see what he can do. I think it's just it's a good one. I wonder what odds you get for that one. Everybody going on about another striker, another midfielder, another centre back. What about cover for left back? He's going to utilise a Gerda's cover. That's an option. That's an option if he stays, definitely. Emerson is the only weakness now defensively. I don't think he is personally. Got to go back to work. Good to see you. I need to go back to work as well. I'm sorry, there's so many comments, but what I'm going to have to do is I'm actually going to have to head. We have Creswell and Scarles at left back. I think we'll have to see what happens with some of the youth players. I think some of them will be heading out the door. But as things stand, West Ham have brought in Aaron Wan-Bissaka on a 7-year deal. What a fantastic signing. But Tim Stein has been doing a very, very busy man. There he is signing his contract, 7-year deal for a 26-year-old who could be on the cusp of the England call-up if he performs well, which I think he will do. Fingers crossed. Don't underestimate this signing. Don't underestimate any of our signings, but make sure you do give them a bit of time to gel, because we will need that time to gel. So yeah, the earthquake is me sitting on this seat, and what I did was put them up with nails, but I should put them up with the stickers. However, we're going to be doing some work on the house over the coming months, so I'll be changing my setup as well. Anyway, there you go. Signed, sealed, delivered. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a hammer, signing number 8 for West Ham. Thank you very much, Timmy boy, as we start building up for the game at the weekend. Can't believe Premier League football was back, but it is. Take it easy, everyone, and of course, come on, you Irons.